one of the most important cultural centers of the world. It is the oldest city center in all of the Americas with a history dating back to the 1300s. It contains a wealth of historical treasures that are not only in museums but also on the very ground it is built. Come with me as I explore some of the art and history that Mexico City has to offer. National Museum of Anthropology, which is the largest and most visited museum in Mexico, and it contains a number of significant artifacts from Mexico's pre-Columbian heritage. Now I'm at the Anthropological Museum and I'm already loving it. It's super beautiful. They have this fountain that you're not allowed to go in, surprise, surprise. The pre-Columbian Mexica people had a game that's not too dissimilar from soccer, where they would basically hit a somewhat rubber ball with their forearms and their hips, and they try to get it through these series of holes, and it involved betting, and it also involved decapitation when a play was made against the sun. So this was a pretty hardcore game of soccer. This stone piece behind me is probably one of the more famous Aztec pieces ever known, and it is incorrectly thought to be the Aztec calendar, but it was actually a sacrificial altar, and they would have like warrior gladiator events on it. So when I got out of the Anthropological Museum, I started roaming through a park in front, and I totally got lost. But what I did find is some guys on a huge pole hanging upside down to some music, dressed in Native American clothing, performing some kind of show. It was pretty neat. So the walk to the castle of Chapultepec involves walking through a beautiful park, and there's a beautiful pond behind me with beautiful Garza birds. My last name is Garza. That's pretty cool. I did a lot of walking at the Museum of Anthropology, so I tried to take the most direct route possible to the castle. But the route that Google gave me, I couldn't do because there's like fence all along the perimeter, and I've almost completely walked around the entire perimeter and not found a way to get in, which is a good exercise, but I'm tired. I'm like tripping all over myself over here, so I'm hoping I find it. See, oh, I see something. So this Castle Chapultepec, has the name Chapultepec, which is a Nahuatl word, like a Native American word for a grasshopper hill, and it was very important to the, it's a sacred hill for the Aztecs, and Maximilian was an emperor who lived here. It was home to many different emperors of Mexico, and it's pretty beautiful. It has amazing views of Mexico City. One very popular and crowded tourist attraction is the Frida Kahlo Museum, which there's a huge line to get in for, and even though I booked my tickets online ahead of time, I still had to wait in a line. And then once you get in, you wait in a line to see everything because it's just that crowded. But it's a really beautiful place to visit because not only was this her home, there's also paintings of hers, paintings of her husband, Diego Rivera, and you can even see her burial mask and the place where her ashes resides. Frida Kahlo's beautiful, serene blue house belies the difficult and painful life she led. She contracted polio at the age of 6, which left her with a weak and withered right leg. Then at the age of 18, the bus she was on was hit by a streetcar and she was impaled by a handrail that went through her hips. This accident left her bedridden for years, and this is why she took up art. Frida Kahlo not only incorporated her pain and suffering into her art, she also incorporated her art into her pain and suffering. Frida Kahlo painted about her miscarriages and her divorce and her injured body, and she also incorporated art into the clothing that she wore, which had special structures to support her injured body. Visiting Frida Kahlo's blue house really gives the visitor a sense of peace. Not only do you get to see the beautiful art that Frida Kahlo created, but you also get a glimpse into her beautiful mind. Zocalo. I just arrived in the afternoon on a Saturday, so it's pretty crazy with people. There's a performance behind me, and there's some sort of tent set up over here. Lots of activity. Behind me is Latin America's largest and oldest cathedral. hard to tell what's behind me, but it's the ruins of part of the Aztec Empire, which was centered here. This was the capital of the empire. Templo Mayor is simultaneously dedicated to the god of war and the god of rain and agriculture. According to tradition, this is the exact spot where the god of war gave a sign to the Mexica people that they had reached the promised land. An eagle residing on a nopal cactus with a snake in its mouth. That same scene is depicted on the Mexican flag. Behind me is the government headquarters here, and it's appropriate because this is the government headquarters area when the Aztec ruled, or the Mexica people, the first real Mexicans in this area. And this building is actually built with pieces of the original temples that the Mexica people had here. For my Mexico City adventures, but next week I'm going to explore some of the outer cities around Mexico City. I want to thank you for joining me so far. I want to thank all my new subscribers, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, bye!